In the Chicago Blackhawks home opener, the Sharks give a nice gift to the Blackhawks, losing 4-2. We'll break this one down. We'll break down what the heck is going on with the power play, and that PK looked decent. Not anymore. Right now, here on Teal Town After Dark. Let's fucking go. Good evening, everyone. It is October 17th, 2024. If you're older like me, you know where you were 35 years ago and didn't have power right now. But, you know, who also doesn't have a lot of offensive power? The San Jose Sharks, as they lose 4-2 to the Chicago Blackhawks. Welcome to Teal Town After Dark. This is your live interactive Sharks postgame. We do this after every game, so if you want to be part of the show, chat with us and fellow hockey fans all over the world and in Sharks territory on the YouTube page or the app. If you want to follow us on the social, please do. We GIF on the X and the threads during the game and find everything at Tealtown USA. Do you want to support the pod? Hit us up on the Venmo at Tealtown USA or as a super chat donation if you watch us live. So with that, I say to you, good evening, Mr. Ian Reid. How the hell are you?
Fine. Just
good.
Watching the chat scroll.
Good. Let's see. Let's hit up the chat. I'm sure it's just totally fine. First comment out of the chat. Jim and FLA over under 15 wins. I was hoping for 30. I was hoping for 30. This team, we were told this team is a lot improved and everything. I don't know. Did we freaking hire David Quinn? Did we hire David Quinn? Did we bring back, Devin Cooley or throw some other guys who aren't here anymore? I mean, because it looks like the same team from last year.
30 wins. That was a real number that you thought.
Yeah, that was a real number. I thought. God. Yeah, because Celebrini's going to save everything, not go down with a fucking hip injury and be gone for weeks on end because, I'm sorry. No, he might be back Sunday. Bullshit. Ramon, and I'll do this in my best Shoresy impersonation. The Sharks might never win again. Okay.
30.
I'm sorry. I expect higher expectations.
Oh my God, 30 wins. I mean, wow. I mean, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment if that was your expectation going into the season.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. What's funny? Let's see. Jim and what's funny after last night's highlights, Malkin Crosby may have been longer than Will Smith has been alive. Same with Celebrini.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Let's see. Goose just not going to get another crack. And, yeah. Oh, do we have to say this? Pretty good 49 first off. Go Niners on Sunday. But, Postgame Live sucks now. Brody, please come back. Okay. Or not. You just watch us instead. Right, Ian?
Yeah, I mean, look at, what do you want me to say? Like, obviously they decided that, look at sports media is an absolute bloodbath right now. Especially if you do it for a living. Thank God we don't do it for a living so we can be as terrible as we want. And I don't have to try and feed my whole family on a $2 super chat, which I do appreciate, by the way. But I don't have to feed my family with that, which is probably a good thing. No, I look at, I mean, it's change. Change is never good for the most part, especially this. This is probably clearly a cost cutting thing that they've done. And you know what? I don't know. I get the opposing teams feed most of the time, so I don't know. It's not a problem that I have. I don't really want to spend too much time on this.
No. Let's move on. Right? Let's just say thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for the super chat. Super chats help keep the lights on. Yes. I don't want to come off like I'm disparaging the super chat. Like every donation helps. It helps pay for the website. It helps pay for the SoundCloud. And to do all the things that we do, without having to people donating to us makes it so that we don't have to pay for anything out of pocket, which we are very grateful for, which is all we want, right? That's all we want. We just want enough to keep the lights on,
at least,
and that's what we get, and we are eternally grateful for that, because no one's paying for things out of pocket, and that's important.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree on that. We appreciate each and every one of you, and it's Jesse L. One could argue this is the last place Brody talked about the Sharks. Very true.
True.
Vincent Alvarado, easily Smith's best game.
I thought so too. I know. Look at I know that there's polarization on Will Smith right now, right? And I'm not saying his game's perfect, but I thought this was his best game of the season so far. I noticed him a lot more this game than there's been games this year where I thought the Sharks as a team played better. Where I didn't really notice Smith as much, even with the absence of Celebrini, where you're like, kind of like, you want to notice Smith. And this was the game that I noticed Smith a ton. I thought even when the Sharks looked like absolute ass, which they did for large stretches of this game, I liked a lot of what Will Smith was doing. It's gonna, again, it takes time, right? Like, I know right now everyone's really salty and everyone's really pissed off, and I don't blame you. This game was garbage. Like, this was the worst game they've played this season. I know they haven't won yet, but like, I thought the other games were at least competitive. This one wasn't winnable. Competitive. Yeah, I mean, they I thought they hung in there with Dallas. They could have won that game. They've hung, they've hung with some teams so far. And I kind of liked the way they played tonight, though. They just couldn't get anything going. I mean, you look at the first half of the game, I thought Chicago did a really good job of getting bodies and sticks in the lanes.
Yeah.
Because like the Sharks just couldn't get anything going. Like, everything they tried to do hit a Chicago stick, hit a Chicago player. Now, I don't know if that's as much the Chicago Blackhawks defensive system as it is maybe just some really bad luck, but like, I don't know, the Sharks were just not good tonight.
No, especially on odd man rushes, like the 2-on-1 that Smith had. There was a great defensive play there before he could toe drag it in. Kostin had another one that just he couldn't get the shot off. I think there was another one that was a drop back in the second period that they couldn't get going. Credit to Chicago for having some strong defense in the transition. It's just frustrating that, with these odd man rushes that they were giving up, they couldn't even get a shot on goal. That's where it really frustrates me watching this one. A few more in the chat. We'll go. Steve Rector, the celebrating injury really took the wind out of things a bit, I think. Was exciting the first night, but without him, there's just not a lot out there at the moment. And that's tough to swallow, Ian, because, the pressure on the kid, it's going to, the more and more things mount up when he's out, and the pressure on the kid's going to be really tough. And that's not going for just Celebrini, but also Will Smith too.
Yeah, I mean, sure, and that's the case. Like, obviously, look at Celebrini going down, and going down as early as he did. Like, that sucks. Like, it definitely, you're looking for things that you want to kind of watch and things to be excited about and things to just, like, you want to see progress, right? And it's hard to see that when Celebrini's out, and then for some reason, we have to have 2 fourth lines or 2.5 fourth lines, but we can't somehow, like, this team can't put pucks in the net, but don't put Daniel Gushchin in because, we can't have that. We have to have our 2 fourth lines of guys. And it's just like, I don't know what's to think of that right now. Like, obviously I think it's, when it looked like Eklund might not be able to play, it was like they had Gushchin skating on the first line in practice. And then he goes from that to, nope, you can't get in the lineup because, I don't know, Tidal Andrea, I guess.
Clean Kostin, top 9 forward.
Yeah, but I like Klim Kostin. Again, I think he's a
I
fine middle six option.
do too,
Um,
but when you need the offense,
yeah, no, I mean, I'm not sure who I'm not sure who you pull out, but I mean, like you just figure like I don't understand why we can't have a scoring third line.
who would you take out on that? Because it was Smith, Goodrow, and Cunnin tonight. Who do you think would be moved to put
Nobody,
Gushin?
because who
But
are
I
you going
mean,
to take out?
theoretically,
Yeah, theoretically nobody, because again, they're not going to take Luke Cunnin out. Like we could say, oh, well, they should take Luke Cunnin, but that's not going to fucking happen. So like, what's the point, right? Like you can live in the world that is or the world you want, and the world you want isn't the world that is. Super deep on my part, I know, but you know what I mean. Like, so it's like you can say, "Oh, I would take Luke Cunnin," no, but Luke Cunning's never coming out of this fucking lineup.
Mm-mm.
The Sharks love fucking Luke Cunnin, right?
Right.
So I don't know. I like Kostin. I don't know.
Grundstrom. I mean, I don't know.
Grunstrom's actually, you know what? Like Grunstrom's been fine. I think his I don't know what his fancy stats were like tonight, but like his analytics seem fine. So I don't really notice Grunstrom when he's on the ice, but so what do you do when you don't notice somebody? You check out the fancy stats. His fancy stats are fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, but again, like, but are you going to get goals from Grunstrom? Or are you going to get, goals from Gushin? That's the problem.
But at this point, I mean, if you're just going to keep scratching, if you're going to keep scratching Gushin at this point, might as well send him back to the CUDA.
Well, I think once
until Celebrini gets back.
I think when Celebrini gets back, they're going to have to make a decision there, because I think is Celebrini on the? I think he's on the IR, so he can't. So so as soon as he comes back, they're going to have to make a. They're probably going to have to send somebody down. I mean, there's going to be a few situations where guys are going to have to get sent down, based on just guys coming back from injury. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I'll be really curious what happens. So we'll see how they. Y'all, they won't pull Cunnin out. Cunnin, he wears an A. What impression will that send the kids? I mean,
the Sharks love Luke Cunnin. We can bitch about Luke Cunnin till we're blue in the fucking face, right. But it would be pointless because it's not going to change anything. It's bullshit, right? Like it is what it is. Like, so I could sit here and scream about Luke Cunnin, but Luke Cunning's not coming out of this fucking lineup. Nope. So why waste my fucking breath?
Yes. So with that, let's get to the recap of the game. This was the Hawks home opener. They've owned the Sharks. They've won 7 out of the last 10 meetings against San Jose. Entering tonight, the Sharks were the only team to not concede a power play goal. That was according to NHL stats, so thank you for jinxing us there. Sharks entered tonight one of 4 teams without a win. Yeah. Only one that wasn't in the playoffs last season. Can you name the other 3?
Yeah, so the teams that won tonight, who won? So Nashville, I think, is still without a win. Colorado hasn't won yet. Who else is missing? Who am I missing? Vancouver won tonight, I think, though. So they finally got their win.
Yes, they did. Vancouver won tonight, so they're down to 3 here. First period, you saw a 4-on-4 where Hall just skates in, puts a little dipsy-do on Ruda, and gets past Vanacek for a 1-0 goal. Chicago would get a plethora of power plays on this night because
I didn't like that goal either. Like I mean, obviously it was a good move by Taylor Hall and it was a nice shot, but like I feel like Vanacek's stick was in the wrong place.
It just seemed a little off.
It seemed like I don't know. Again, like Taylor Hall's a really good shot, like has a really good shot. But I thought like it just looked to me like the way it went through, like that your stick should have been there, Vanacek. I don't know.
Yeah, and that made it 1-0 Chicago. They would double the lead late in the period with Bertuzzi in the back door with not to steal a Drew or Randyism here, but head on a swivel was not happening with Bertuzzi on the back door of the goal. He gets hit power play goal. That ends the Sharks' drought to make it 2-0 Chicago after one period of play, where they were outshot, where the Sharks were outshot 10-4.
Yeah, because they couldn't do anything with the puck. Like every time they tried to make a pass, that there was a stick in the way or a body in the way, and like I said earlier, like the Sharks could not get anything going, and they weren't, and they were slow. Like they just didn't look like they were ready for the game.
Yeah. And it's just I'm trying to save some of the comments in the chat while we keep going here. Second period, Chicago would be on another power play again. I mean, you start playing the parade. We did a parade to the penalty box tonight, you know.
Well, yeah, like you can you're I don't care how good your penalty kill is. If you have to kill 7 penalties, like
yeah,
you're playing with fire. And unfortunately, you know, tonight again the Sharks weren't very good. And so what happens? I mean, you get a parade to the penalty box. You get the, you know, Chicago playing just faster than the Sharks. The Sharks look flat-footed for half the game. Like, yeah, you're playing with fire, man. And I don't care how good your penalty kill is.
Yeah. Foligno would get his 3rd of the season. Teravainen and Bedard would get back-to-back assists on the last 2 Chicago goals there to make it 3-0. Sharks.
It's a nice pickup for Chicago. Teravainen.
Oh, big pickup. I love that pickup for them. Sharks would only have 6 shots on goal halfway through regulation there. And then with less than 2 minutes to go, Tyler Toffoli, thank goodness we have him and somebody wants to score on this team, was parked out in front. And but I'll give some flowers to Granlund on keeping the puck in the zone there.
Yeah, and look at, I think another guy who was on that line obviously is William Eklund, who is obviously playing through something. He was a game tie decision. And you know, like, I credit to William Eklund. I thought for the Toffoli goal, again, nice spot. Like Toffoli, I love Tyler Toffoli because he's always in the right place at the right time. Like I just find that's the way he is. Like he's always just in a good position to take just silly passes from really good passers. I mean, we saw obviously the goal in the opening game from Celebrini where Celebrini got to him, but then again, Eklund with a really nice pass. I thought Eklund had a really good game tonight. Overall, considering that he's supposed to be playing through something. Yeah, considering he's supposed to be playing through something, I thought he was really good. I thought he was one of the best players on the ice for the Sharks through most of the game.
Yeah. Luke Johnson kind of coming in the chat here. Last 3 games honestly been boring, not an interesting product at all. But I'm still watching, and you're still watching us, so thank you.
Good though. Like, I mean, the games are at least like the games are more competitive, but like this is not a good team.
Yeah. Moving into the 3rd period, the Hawks, it was horrible replays, but they were gushing about Dickinson's goal to make it 4-1. However, Zetterlund would get a nice goal back to cut it into 4-2. Just about a half a minute later, just to tease us into being interested in the 3rd period. But that was said and done. Sharks definitely had a little more pressure in the 3rd, which is nice
they got
to see.
better as the game they got better as the game went on, and I think, you know, score effects are obviously a thing there where I think Chicago, you're up by a bunch of goals, you're going to take, like, that's just, yes, that's what happens. You know, you get up by a few goals and then you take your foot off the gas, and then sometimes it'll, and the Zetterlund goal was pretty lucky too. Yeah. It was skill. There's definitely an element of luck involved there. I don't know, man. Like, this is just a bad game. Like there's just no way to slice it. It was a bad fucking game.
Yeah. All around. No one gets away with it. I mean, yeah, you can maybe make an excuse for maybe Granlund, who I think who was all over the ice tonight trying to do something. Eklund with a pair of assists. That, you know,
Eklund was, like I said, Eklund was probably the best. Like, if you're looking for things to take from this, like, and you're like, oh, it's like is the rebuild kind of borked? And it's like, no, like, look, I mean, like William Eklund, obviously a top 10 pick from a few years ago now, one of the best players in the game, right? I thought Will Smith had his best game as a Shark. Is, you know, again, was it good enough? I don't, you know, probably not, but I think that, again, it's going to take some time for these guys to figure this out, and they need some rope to do so. And right now, I mean, what are you going to do, right? Like, you're going to take him out of the lineup too and replace him with what? Giovanni Smith? Like, fuck.
Well, I think I saw a tweet from Shang that there are some lineup changes tomorrow, so we'll see how it goes. But we'll not hold our breaths for that. But in the meantime, AJ's been giving us some quotes from the locker room, so let's get to those. Granlund, we can do way better. We started too slow and we played too slow with the puck skating. We chased the game the whole period and it cost us. We have to play faster, play better with the puck, bring up the pace, have better starts, stay out of the box. Gee, I swear I hear a fan from Toronto mentioning that every game beforehand. And just saying, people, maybe listen to the guy. William Eklund, I'm not 100%, but I'm trying to make plays and score goals. Hey, if you're not 100% and you have a pair of assists tonight,
again, he was the best. He was the best. He was the best Sharks player on the ice. It's not even fucking close.
I would give some love to Granlund too on that part though, but
sure,
yeah. Eklund continues on. We have to be ready from the start tomorrow, and have the good game to get that first win.
Yeah. Yeah, I think. Look, I just going back to Will Smith for a second, because I know a lot of people are really frustrated. But like, you guys going from fucking college to the NHL. It's a big fucking jump. It's 4 games. Take a breath. It's gonna be fine. Yeah. Like, just take a breath. He's gonna figure it out. There's too much there's too much talent there for him not to figure it out, right?
Right. And for that matter, I think, like I said with Dana on Tuesday night, I think it's sort of unfair to ring him in and have the same expectations as everybody has for Celebrini. I think there's definitely a talent there, but they don't always flourish right away.
It's a jump. It's a huge jump. It's a huge jump. Like it's gonna, like, I'm not worried about Will Smith yet. I don't think we should be.
Warsaw continues on. Eklund was good, still on the level he needs to get to. He had 2 assists.
I mean, again, like, I can say, like, but again, like, but in the first period though, I mean, it wasn't like that line had anything going either, right? Like, there was no good Sharks in that first period. Like, I wouldn't be giving anyone a pat on the back for that period, right? Like, it's just yeah, I mean, the whole team needs to find another fucking level.
No, yeah, and Warsaw would continue on saying it's not acceptable. Let me try it again. It's not acceptable. We knew they'd be jacked for their opener. Our prep wasn't good enough. Too many penalties, kills the momentum, all the stick pims, all the trips, the high sticks, and that's I think the biggest one, Ian, right there, are all the infractions that occurred tonight. The lazy penalties, the tripping, the holding, the roughing, here's
the problem.
It's like, come on, guys.
I mean, and the other problem I have with the penalty parade for the Sharks is, you look at those penalties, and I think Granlund took one in the first period where I was like, is that really a trip? But other than that, they were all penalties. Like, it wasn't like the Sharks got jobbed by the refs tonight. The Sharks got jobbed by themselves.
I completely agree. They did it to themselves, and then when they had the opportunity to do anything on the power play, they didn't execute. I mean, it's just couldn't get it done. So Steve, jumping ahead to Sunday. Remember Edmonton last year, everyone. If we beat the Avs Sunday, they're about to go on a 20-game win streak.
Yeah, look at, like, I mean, the Avalanche are too good to be this bad. I have never been a big Georgiev guy. So yeah, their goaltending has been pretty sus so far, but like they're too good not to figure it out.
Right. Warsaw on the power play, it was tough to give that goal up. It's something we've worked on, or a power on the PK for the power play goal, I believe. It was tough to give that goal up. It's something we've worked on, a specific drill we work on, and we did nothing close to it.
Yeah, I mean, look at like this was sloppy, and it was self-inflicted. So much of this game was self-inflicted.
Yeah. Warsaw and Will Smith, best game he's played, which I agree. Looked more comfy, more engaged, skated with the puck more, a step in the direction.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. I think like I think that I've been pretty positive on Will Smith's game, in this game specifically. I'm again like it's 4 games. It's an adjustment. It's going to take time to figure it out. And then if he doesn't, you send him to the Barracuda, and then he figures it out there, and then he comes back up and he's fine. We did the same thing with William Eklund. Yep. William Eklund came in and everyone's like expecting, the universe from this guy, and he struggled a little bit. And then he had to go down to the Barracuda, and then he went down to the Barracuda. He figured it out. He started putting up points, came back up, and he's never looked back.
Yep.
It's patience.
And Steve, while Ian was talking, Steve mentioned, take a look at Jumbo's rookie year. 55 games, 3 goals, 4 assists.
Yeah.
And then the following year he had a 40-point year. So it's
a hard jump to go from, it's a hard jump to go from playing college hockey or junior hockey to the NHL. There's an adjustment to be made. And some players can make it look really easy. Celebrini made it look easy in his first game, but like, again, if Celebrini comes back and he's not putting up points every game, are we going to start being like, oh no, what's going on with the rebuild? What have we done? Like, stop. Just like take a breath.
Yeah, no. Final one from Warsaw. We'll expect some line changes. We'll worry about tomorrow. Well, it's 10:43, so you're about an hour and a half away.
Yep.
We'll review tonight. Got about an hour and 17 minutes, and we'll have to do everything better tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, again, right? Like, so, I mean, things are going to change. I think, and someone, what was the question in the Semcast? Imagine the Sharks started like the Oilers last year. You pull a Jay Woodcroft on Warsaw. No, because again, like you bring in a new coach, there's going to be an adjustment as the systems get changed, and you can't just like pull the plug. Like and again, there's expectation differences, right? No one's expecting anything from the Sharks this year. The Sharks, like, if you went into this season thinking the Sharks are supposed to be a playoff team, well, that's on you. Like, you can't be, if you're mad, then that's on you, because your expectations are way out of whack. So for the Sharks to come in and like, expect that this team was supposed to be winning more games this early, with what they have, and it's like if they came in and fired Warsofsky, I mean, Jesus, man,
that's just a tire fire for the organization,
right? Like, I mean, and then you're like at that point, then that's a 100 million alarm fire at that point, right? Like, I think again, it's gonna be patience, and I know I've said that a lot this show, but it's the truth. Like, it's gonna take a while for the systems to kind of click and to get guys bought in. And it's going to take time for, guys to get comfortable as they kind of adjust the lineup, and just guys getting used to playing at the NHL speed.
And playing, with whoever their lines are with.
Well, yeah, and playing against,
they didn't do too much in the preseason.
And playing against men, like it's a lot different to go from playing against children to playing, not children, but like 18, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, to playing against guys that have been in the league for 15 years. At the NHL. Like, patience, man. Like, I like, look at, I'm not saying like you should not be angry about tonight. Tonight was an awful fucking game. Like, we could have all done something that was way more productive than the time we spent watching this game. This game sucked, but overreaching analysis, like, I just think it's just step back from the ledge just a little bit, I think, anyway. I mean, you do you.
All right.
Or
trade everyone.
Trade everyone. I can't see us trade everyone yet. Oh my god.
No,
look.
Will Smith hasn't scored yet. Trade him.
Oh my god.
Should have drafted Michkov.
Oh my god. Shut up. Don't get the trolls going, please. Really? Oh my god. Oh lordy. But I mean, and that's the thing, you know.
Rebuild the rebuild, baby. You got it.
Rebuild the rebuild. Yes. Or here, I'll do it in my voiceover. Rebuilds take time. More at 11. You know, so it's gonna take time. You saw the progression of the first 3 games. I think that's more the problem than anything. And you see this one, and you're gonna have that one bad game, but it gets frustrating because of it. And Dave, or excuse me, Rob saying we're not at game 20 yet. Chill. Yes, but thank you for the super chat, by the way.
Yeah, no, you're right. And thank you for the super chat. Right. There's a couple things I want to get to. Sam saying no more rebuild. Sam, I have nothing. I regret to inform you that getting Celebrini did not end the rebuild. Sorry.
Hate to say it.
Yeah.
Best prospect pool.
I regret to inform you that this is not over. It should it get better? Tyler Myers, off topic. What's going on with Sudbury and Quentin Musty? Fantastic question. I don't have any like super details because it's been pretty quiet. All I do know is that Quentin Musty has requested a trade from the Sudbury Wolves. I'm not sure the reason as to why. I think Sudbury's doing okay so far. I haven't really been paying attention to junior hockey that much, but I feel like they're not as good as they were last year. That's
and they
for
lost
sure.
Some players too. Right?
They did lose some players. Yeah, like I like his big line mate Goyette, I think, is on Coachella this year. So I mean, there's definitely been a little bit of turnover there, as there is every year in junior hockey. But I'm not sure why the trade was requested. Sudbury, like, again, I think Sudbury has come a really long way. Sudbury for a long time in the OHL was kind of an also-ran. Like, it was always, they were just kind of there. Never really competitive, but they've done more to try and build that team up over the last few years. Like you saw, Quentin Byfield came from the Sudbury Wolves. So they've definitely been getting more players to kind of buy in and go there. The arena sucks. They are going to build a new one soon, I believe. But they have the worst arena in the OHL. It's 100 million years old. So I don't know if the travel, look at when you play up here in the Sioux or Sudbury, like the travel's awful. The weather's fucking terrible. It's like a million, it's more winter up here than it is in, let's say, Barrie or, somewhere in the GTA or Windsor. The winters are a lot more brutal. Sudbury, Sioux, the travel's fucking horrid because you're so far away from everyone else. Although Sudbury's closer to the GTA than the Sioux is. Like the Sioux is kind of like the northernmost point of awfulness for travel. But I think the travel blows. The arena sucks. I don't know, but again, like I think Sudbury's done a really good job of rebuilding that program and making it a respectable program, because for a long time they were not at all.
No.
So I don't know why but I wish I had more information. I don't know why. You requested a trade. Like they haven't really given any details on that, and I don't really know anybody in like that covers the Wolves enough to go and harass them and see if I could get more details, unfortunately.
And they're in the Central Division of the Eastern Conference in the OHL, and the last place team, Brampton, is at 8 points, which would lead the East Division, where Brantford is at 8, tied with Kingston. But the Wolves are just 2 points out of first place in their division. And if I'm not mistaken, let's see, Windsor's at 13, Niagara is at 12, and then you have Sarnia at 10, and then Kitchener, Barrie, North Bay, and Sudbury all at 10 points. So they're not in bad shape. I mean,
they're a decent team. Like they'd be a much better team with Quentin Musty on it. So I don't know if it's something with coaching or anything else. I wish I had a better answer than that. I just know what I know.
I mean, jeez. I mean, London Knights are sucking. They're 2 points out of first place. My God, what the hell's wrong with them?
I wonder if he's trying to get sent to. Everyone's trying to get sent to London.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I
Or
don't.
Oshawa?
I mean, there's a few teams where I think Quentin Mustard would be a really nice fit. Yeah, as much as I hate to like say it, like it's weird though, because like on Sudbury, he would be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And like if he goes somewhere else, I don't think like he's going to be the guy. I mean, he would be a guy, but I don't know if he'd like if you put him on a team like a London or a Saginaw, would he be the guy? I'm not sure.
My question to you is because I remember the whole Ryan Merkley thing where he got moved from Peterborough to London.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Sharks kind of can influence that a little bit?
Sure. Or... Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. It's definitely a thing that happened. I don't think the Sharks played a big factor in sending Merkley. Like Ryan Merkley really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way during junior hockey, and I think the idea was that, well, if London can't fix him, no one can.
Right.
And as far as I know, he was a Saint in London, so I don't,
Gotcha. Let's see. Simcast saying, at first I thought Musty was trying to gain exceptional status to play in the NCAA this year.
He can't.
I
mean, yeah. Well, maybe that changes, right? But I mean, as of they haven't changed the rule there yet. I think
it's on the verge soon.
Yeah, but I'm curious to see how that's going to work. Are we going to see guys jump like at that point where it's like I play a couple years of junior and then I jump to a university pro, or is this going to be guys just going after they finish playing junior to use their education package in the States? I'm fascinated to see how that goes.
It's going to be interesting how that all turns out. So
yeah, I'm curious to see how that goes. I think it's going to be interesting. I think there's a few leagues that I think it's going to really hurt. I think it's going to hurt like the junior A leagues, like the BCHL. I think they're going to take kind of a beating from that, because right now, if you want to play in Canada still, but then go to a university, you're going to play in one of those junior A leagues.
Mm-hmm.
The BCHL being the most popular, I think, of those leagues. So I wonder if that hurts them a little bit. I think the USHL will be fine. I just wonder if there'll be less, like, again, I wonder if it's a situation where we see less Canadians go down to the USHL.
It'll be interesting to see how that transpires, because
USHL
has kind of been like that next stepping stone as opposed to like going into junior and then
well, yeah, because I mean USHL isn't pro hockey, so it'll be interesting to see what I'm really fascinated to see how that turns out. But like right now, I'm just kind of talking my ass about it because I don't have any super details yet.
Well, there's a joke there, but I won't attempt it. Felix saying, and when the NCAA and CHL merger does come,
it's not going to be a merger. It's just going to be the loosening of the rules. Like merger is the wrong word. They're not going to become the same entity.
Or agreement, I guess, probably be better.
It's just it's going to be it's just going to be a thing, because like the NCAA, right? Like it's going to be the end of the NCAA being an amateur sport program, because it stopped being that
a long time ago. Yes.
Right.
Just look at college football.
Right. Well, that's what I mean, right? Like it's stopped being that, right? So it's going to be interesting, because the NCAA keeps getting in these lawsuits, and they keep getting their ass kicked in them. It's just going to be the end of the NCAA being amateur real. I mean, but again, like we said, it hasn't been real amateur sports in a long time, but it's going to stop being that in name only.
Yeah. Completely.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk Winnipeg.
Okay.
And apparently it's Hellebuck night, where I guess he gets honored for his Vezina, and so.
Oh, is that who we're playing next?
Yeah, on Friday. So,
God.
How many saves will he have in his shutout against the Sharks tomorrow?
Like 4.
4 saves. Ian is going with 4 save shutout for. If that happens, oh my God, I feel for Dana tomorrow. Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, look at Winnipeg's been really, really good so far. I regret to inform you, like they've been really good so far. Oh man, I don't know, man. I'm not looking forward to tomorrow's game.
Yeah, Winnipeg at 6 points. They are still undefeated.
Undefeated. They've allowed, I think, 2 goals so far this whole season. They've allowed 2 goals. Yeah, they're like, I don't know. I think it's, and that'll be the game they win, right? Because we go in there expecting it to be like the worst shit ever, and that's the game they're gonna win.
Okay. Should we just go through the schedule and see where they can get their first win at this point?
Oh, it'll be tomorrow because we've already we're dead set that they're gonna get absolutely destroyed tomorrow. So
okay.
so it'll be tomorrow.
It'll be. Ian says tomorrow. I'm looking like okay. We're home to the Avalanche, and then we go on. Then we go on to the 4-game road trip, which is like the dream to me, where you have 4 teams, within regionally in your area: Ducks, Kings, Golden Knights, and Utah.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to have a win somewhere in there, please, dear God. So
not looking good.
So more cursing in the Discord from Puck Guy tomorrow, probably. Yes. Yes. 54 watching live. The 7th. Come on. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. My eyes are losing it because I thought AJ had said something. Yes. Help out an organic podcast, will ya? Will ya?
Yeah, I was grown with no preservatives or no pesticides.
That's right. Ian's real last name is Smuckers. Yes. All right.
The Avalanche are a tire fire. They're a mess. Like, I mean, this could be a situation like last year with the Oilers when the Oilers came in and the Sharks whacked them. Could happen. I mean, but it's also like that team has a lot of firepower.
I was gonna say, and the Sharks could face a former a friend of theirs, Capo Kakinen. Who knows? He might get the start.
And then we can hear how Capo Kakinen's actually Aiden Hill.
Oh God!
I'm glad. Am I on that show?
Yeah, it's a Pucknologist takeover.
Fuck. Oh, I don't want to hear it.
Oh. With that Sunday, remember it's usually at 7 p.m.,
Sunday.
but they will be. Ian and AJ will be on after the game goes final.
It's true.
Weekly recap.
If I hear one fucking thing about Capo Kakinen being Aiden Hill,
It's just setting up our buddies in the Discord, dude. Don't do it.
Dead.
Don't do
all
it.
Of you.
Oh boy. Now Ian's threatening people.
Murder.
Okay. On that note, in case you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com before we lose it, or your favorite podcatcher, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're on the YouTube channel, please hit that like button, subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That'll let you know when we do go on after every single Sharks game, home and away. If you're watching on the replay, please leave a comment on tonight's game and what you think and all that fun stuff, because this is live interactive. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we want to make sure you get your voices heard, and we get to vent. See how well, if people in Discord saw that I was like up to here right now, and now I've calmed down because Ian's telling everybody to trade everyone, and I have to be rational with him. So, Ian, your final thoughts before we get out of here.
When the Sharks do bad, it's good.
Don't tempt me with Tankathon. Don't tempt me with Tankathon.
We're not doing that. No.
Just saying.
No, if you start Tankathoning, there will be also murder.
Skylar and I did it 25 times on Tankathon on Discord. The Sharks only won twice. We're just going to leave it at that. So, AJ saying Will Smith played a career high 1909, almost 6 minutes more than a previous high. There's a good reason why, according to Warsawski, thought
he had a good game. He just had a good game. He was shooting the puck. He was carrying the puck. He was starting to do all the things you want a player of Will Smith's talent to do.
Exactly.
It was a good game.
Tomorrow.
God fucking damn it. It was a good game. You people get off the fucking ledge.
All right. Well, we will see you following Sharks and Jets. It's the West Side Story series. Game number 1.
He needs work off the puck. I agree. But, like, again, 4 games.
Yeah.
4 fucking games.
And with that, we will get out of here. So thanks for watching. The Chomp-versation continues in Discord. I'm sure it'll be lively tonight. So until then, thanks for watching. Keep it real. Keep it teal. Keep it real teal. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you Friday following Sharks and Jets.